Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rivals of Ixalan draft number 4 here on Big Durf Gaming. We're going into part 2 with a solid 2-0 win. Solid. We got carried by our Mythic Rare in game 1, but won game 2 pretty well. Felt strong there. And yeah. We had a chance for foil Angrath, but still getting enough tickets on the Twilight Prophet, and the Twilight Prophet being absolutely bonkers. That meant I went that way. Angrath doesn't do a lot, like, from a limited perspective, in my opinion. I think the card would be better and constructed, where you could, like, be building a deck to want to do all those things more. But the -3 to kill their worst creature just means it still dies to a flyer. Or even just their worst flyer, if they have another flyer, I don't know. Oh, we'll keep that. Sky Marcher on 3 is fine. Especially if we're on the play. If we're on the draw, it'd be a little sketchy, because there is, like, the possibility of the aggro vampire deck in the format. Or even the aggro merfolk. Sorry, vampire aggro pirate or merfolk. Ooh, that is a that was a beautiful draw until I just played a swamp for some reason. Oh my goodness. Yep. I'm bad. So bad. So terrible. We're just gonna let that hit us because we're gonna play the Dust Charger next turn. Absolutely awful. It would have been great to block that nest. I would have been fine blocking that Nest Robert Martyr there. It would have been great, but actually I probably would have been bad, but I would have been happy to get in for 2 damage and at least, be threatening my opponent more. As a side note, I'm glad that this card reads can be blocked by powers with creatures with power 2 or less, and not creatures with power less than Guildgrowth Stalker. Because in Merfolk with River Herald's Boon, that would be oof. I mean, it's already pretty good, but oof. Give that thing like 4 power, and just unblock. Yeah. All right. At the moment, we're happy just attacking. We're probably okay with this Thrasher Raptors hitting us, because once we play our land next turn, we're going to turn on the Dust Charger to attack with the 5/5 on the ground, which feels good versus what the opponent has on the ground. Assuming they attacked with the Raptors, obviously not. I don't think I'm attacking my 5/5 into their Raptors. Otherwise, I'd rather just keep the 5/5 and attack with my Flyers. But if opponent attacks with the Raptors, I will absolutely ascend and get it. I mean, I'm going to ascend anyway, but I will get in there with the Charger. If opponent attacks with multiple things, then it gets more interesting. If they attack with just the Raptors, that's, debatably a good attack, depending on what they have in their hand. I would just let that through. But if they attack with multiple things, then I have to start considering what tricks they may have. But if it's worth blocking anything at all, I would probably block the Nest Robber with the Martyr if they pushed with everything, and then let the other 2 through. Because if they use a trick to blow out my martyr, it's not like the end of the world. Whereas if they use a trick to get the charger, that's way worse for me. Or even the Sky Marcher. That took a long time. If that was the play, that took a long time. All right. We get it with just the Sky Marcher? Or the Sadistic? Rather, the Exultant? Or do we keep the Exultant back as well? I think we get it with both. Because we gained the life, and if we play 2 more flyers, we currently have the tempo. Like if this becomes a race, we okay. I think that's it. Whew, that's pretty brutal. That's pretty good. Okay, what's our best attack to make sure we survive this turn? If we get in with the Sky Marcher and the Revenant, we can go to 12. Take opponent to 7 and have the kill next turn if they don't kill our stuff. Do we survive his opponent's attack back? We put something in front of the Trampler, something in front of the Trampler, Lifelinker in front of something. Yeah, but if they have something else, we lose. If we attack with just Skymark, like, no, I think we attack with both because leaving the Revenant back only blocks at best 2 damage. And we'll play the Prophet and see if this is. If opponent has a removal spell, we're in for it. But if we can survive to the next turn, we should have it. Whether or not opponent actually has something, I still think they should attack with everything and not just concede, just in case they can, get me to make a terrible block. And obviously, if they have a trick, we're in trouble. Hard Caller is a monster of a card. Oh, you like the Colossal Dreadmaw? Here, we split that creature in two and reduce the mana cost by 1 for you. Okay. I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie. There. 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 Hey. I mean, I think obviously the opponent should have waited to see the card that was on top of my library. They might have seen that I had Vona. Like, I don't know what you do about that, but I'm just saying. Get all the information you can. Let's see. What do we want versus this opponent? Snubhorde does not block well versus opponent at all. I think Castaways is going to be better. Perhaps that Gleaming Barrier would have just been better. Ooh, I'll have to remember that. We'll keep this. That's not what I want to see. Ooh. That's good, though. I would have much preferred to see opponent play at turn 1. I was hoping for like a commune with dinosaurs. We're going to Baffling End the Stalker because that does reduce the speaker's power. And we're not going to not do anything until we play a Sky Marcher that can't block the Stalker anyway. And considering the rest of our hand, we have stuff to play on every future turn, so catching the Baffling End while we have a chance seems good. Whew! Well, that might take a Pious now. We'll see. Sky Marcher holds off the Mystic, assuming opponent doesn't have a trick. If they do, that's not great for us. But we're still going to block. Oh, is that it? Well, that's pretty good. Oh, and that is very good. I was going to play Pious, but this means he really can only attack with the speaker. And even that's only for 1 turn. Well, yeah, 1 turn. Because they attacked with either the Veteran or the Mystic. The opponent's already shown they probably don't have a trick, because if they had a trick, they would have played it last turn. You know, Hardy Veteran, 2 mana, 2 mana left over, you can probably afford your trick. Be it Aggressive Urge or whatever it is. So unless they top decked one, it's a pretty safe double block, I think, on either the Mystic or the Veteran. Okay. Look at the Mystic. That's always a 2/4. Maybe we should have got the head Veteran because he can't double boon that. Yeah. Yep, you're right. I hear you. I hear you through the space-time continuum. You got me. Oh. Well, that's actually not nearly as bad as what we thought was going to happen. We're just going to, yeah, play the Butcher. I could play a Pious, but the lifelink should from the Vona should be decent. Obviously, we're going to have to block if they attack. As unfortunate as that is. All tapped out and stuff. Especially with the Dark Nourishment in hand, but opponent is probably very upset because they have now seen Prophet and Vona. And that means that I'm a lucky little mother. You know what? I'm a lucky expletives, expletive. As the New Orleans paper said after the Saints loss. Just expletive. We're going to go... No, sorry. There. Come off of there. You go there. So again, we should have done that backwards to protect Vona from the River Herald's boon, but I was more interested in killing the better creature again. I did not learn the lesson, even though I immediately just should have learned it. Oh, but if opponent doesn't have a spell, that attack seems not wonderful. Maybe they have like a lightning strike and they needed to get 2 damage on the Vona already. Or Mutiny. That'll do it too. Oh. Well, that is pretty good. I must admit. That was a good way to deal with all my stuff. I feel like we should play Dark Nourishment here. And just kill the veteran now, I guess, because we can't do it on opponent's turn. Actually, we're gonna wait. If your opponent does play a Merfolk, that does make killing Humana Speaker better. Alright. I'm glad that went off without a hitch. I don't want to wait a turn on the Pious. I want to just cast it. I need to cast. I need to draw something else I can cast anyway. And while opponent might play a better creature now, and I might get punished for that, with nothing else in my hand, I felt the need to play anything just to not continue to get smashed. Like, I wanted to lower the clock in case I drew another land or 2. Whereas if I wait to play that Pious, I take an extra 2 for each turn. Even though it does gain me 2 life whenever I cast it. Okay. We can start getting with that. I mean, and make this castaway bigger. Or I guess not. Opponent can double block, and I'm not really trying to trade down with that card right now. I think it's better to keep it back defensively, having the 3/5. The opponent getting to 6 is kind of worrisome. In green-red, that means there's a lot of good cards they could have drawn, but I guess not. I guess the opponent is like me and has just drawn a lot of land this game. We could find ourselves a Twilight Prophet. We get in there. Let's see. Come on, opponent. Take. Oof. Not sure the hold up here. This opponent, like, it's trying to figure out if I have something in hand to cast with all this mana. But what could I have that I wouldn't have cast already? Like, if I had some sort of combat trick or something that could save a creature, wouldn't I have done something? Probably would have attacked with Aegisaur there, because if I had a combat trick, that would blow it out. So, I don't have a combat trick. This opponent's trying to figure out if I have Divine Verdict. That would make sense. I mean, I actually have one of the nice little black removal spells, but... Yeah, I guess I have 2 mana. -2/-2. An opponent has something to cast on the Frenzied Raptor. That's a little worrisome. Or opponent might not be tanking. Opponent might just be, turned around or something. All tabbed. Who knows? It's pretty standard. I'm going to continue to fill time, and, perhaps I will cut this out if opponent takes a while to get back, and perhaps I won't. We'll find out in the future. Those we're approaching like 2 minutes of waiting here, I think. We're probably going to cut this out. Hey, opponent's paying costs. Okay. They better have something else. Whew, that was painful. Wait, nope. That's not the right trigger. On the one hand, opponent has the reach creature, but on the other, the Sky Marcher has lifelink, so I can just start gaining 2 a turn by turning it sideways. And if we get opponent ever attacking to Aegisaur, get bigger and bigger. Well, probably won't get bigger and bigger. If opponent ever attacks an Aegisaur, they're probably going to be killing it. Let's be honest. Hey. Well, there goes that attack with Sky Marcher every turn plan. I mean, in good news, there's only 6 more lands in my deck. In bad news, yes, that's still nearly a third of the deck. Hey. Obviously, Twilight Prophet is the draw we are looking for. But there are other things we could use to get ourselves back, like into a position where we can attack. So, like a charger right now is fine. We can just play the 5/5 and start beating. Yeah, it trades. Just getting rid of some of his stuff is fine as long as we have like the Aegisaur. I can't do it with because it's my super defensive lockdown creature at the moment. But if I had another large creature, especially one with a better offense like the 5/5 would, I could start getting in there. Hey, again, I want the Twilight Prophet. I said Dust Charger would be okay, but while we're asking the top of the deck for stuff, I do want the Twilight Prophet. Oh, we can definitely get in with the Dust Charger now. We're pretty happy with however opponent chooses to deal with this. And now that I'm playing with this card, it is definitely better than it looks. Like, yeah, Hill Giant, when it's a Hill Giant, is fine. You know, that's a playable card. And then when it's a 5/5, that's a top decker right there. Like, you're not mad about that. Especially at normally, you know, it's got sub mode, also Hill Giant. Oh, no blocks. That's cool with me. Opponent can just kill this with Firebrand, yes, but if they do that, we can start attacking with our flyers. So we're kind of hoping they choose that. Kind of get them with the bait. Okay. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Yep. This is interesting. Because I kind of want there to be a bad card on top of the deck. But if there's a land on top, which is not very likely at this point, but basically, yeah. How do I attack here? I don't. Opponent's going to want to attack with the Tali. And I can get +1s on my flyers. I think I wait until after opponent attacks. There are two scenarios, right? Well, three. We'll say three, quote unquote. It's a land. It's a bad card. It's Twilight Prophet. Every time I do this, I do get closer to Twilight Prophet, but the more cards are there, it's the least likely scenario that it's Twilight Prophet on top. Whereas if I explore and I take a land into my hand, then it's more likely that he's going to pull the Twilight Prophet. Like an opponent pulls the Twilight Prophet, could wrap this one up. Swamp is good for us. We're going to go for the triple block here. The Tomb Robber will be +1/+1. We have enough mana and not enough land that one of the explorers will give it +1/+1 eventually. Opponent should move Tomb Robber up to be able to destroy that, along with the Aegisaur. That moment when you're like, this is an anytime ability, right? Yeah, there you are, opponent. You got there. Alright, that's not bad. Actually, very good, obviously. Pretty dead because of that dual shot. I'm definitely understating how devastating that was. My goodness. Okay, then. That was a good dual shot. I should have not conceded because opponent is so low on time. Do we have anything we want to mess with here? I don't think so. That was just that dual shot. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't playing around dual shot at all because I wasn't even thinking about opponent having dual shot there. If opponent has dual shot there, isn't it better to attack with more things? Right? I'm not crazy. Because if you got the dual shot, you can attack with the 7/7 and a bunch of other stuff because you can kill multiple things. And then still have what's his face up. I mean, I guess, yeah, that would have killed me anyway, huh? the stupid pirate. So that wasn't even the dual shot. Having the pirate there made that block terrible. I needed to add another creature. You're right. Again, I hear you through the space-time continuum. I'm definitely not coming to these thoughts on my own, because I'm too stupid for that. Clearly. I mean, yeah. That's just better than the Castaways, I think, at this point. So I guess if I get the Castaways in with that, that would be even better, huh? Yes, we want to play first. Yeah, we'll keep that. Not a great hand, but 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop removal spell. Usually pretty good. Obviously not the greatest 3-drop for turn 3, but... Okay. Can't block either way, so it's just going to be more mana efficient with the Tomb Robber. And slightly more likely to be able to attack, because opponent's probably going to want to get in with their Stalker, and if they only play one defender, Tomb Robber still gets in for at least one. Maybe two, because we're probably going to explore with it. Depending on what... I mean, there's a chance we probably hit whatever opponent plays, but probably not. Because while we have some 5s in our deck, I definitely think it's correct to discard a Plains here. Because we would definitely want to get a second swamp for if we find profit. First, between like what kind of land we want. So if we end up trading land for land, you know. And also because... Oh my goodness. Uni is such a good card. We should have had some of them in that pirate deck. Did not, though. That is disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. I still think it's correct to attack here. As an opponent goes to the double block, we're happy to discard down to a trade. We should have done that before combat damage. Doesn't matter. We're not gonna let the fact that we made a mistake affect making the correct play now. Yep. Still gonna put that on top. Yep. It happens. That makes sense. So that means opponent's probably not going to attack with Delver here. Do I want to play Pious here or Sky Marcher? I think I just... I think I want the Sky Marcher. Do I? Yes. We're not... playing Sky Marcher. Let's just block up everything else okay enough that I'm happy with blocking, and let opponent potentially pour more onto that Stalker before we strap it up with the Interdiction. I think we're just going to attack. Do we attack? No, not this turn. Now we're going to attack. And get us a Harpy. Yep. A Pious Interdiction gives us the City's Blessing. Which I'm not going to lie, I forgot to account for. I wasn't even accounting for when I played the Harpy. But that is fantastic. Because now we start chopping away on the Delver. And our Harpy grows. Well, that's less than ideal, but... threaten the life total as much as possible. Because now if we block, we can block with Tomb Robber and the Vampire token on this turn, and if opponent doesn't come up with a kill spell, a removal spell for one of our flyers, or a defensive flyer, a creature with reach, we have lethal next turn. What do we exile? Kumena's Speaker and Swamp. Okay. Yeah, so long as the opponent does not have removal in hand, we're good. Or like some way to, I guess, push through the damage right now. Oof. That's a pretty strong draw. Again, just trying to dodge a kill spell, I guess. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. The opponent's trying to decide if attacking this turn is good or not. Like, it does basically end the game if they don't find something to do with one of our flyers. Big money, no whammies. The freaking Blight Keeper, are you kidding me? Oh my god! That was a kick in the nads. Oh! Oh, that was brutal. That was brutal. I was playing that so well. Oh my goodness. Adatali. Oh, that card is good. Pretty good. Oh my goodness. Oh man, are you serious? Oh. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. Just the heartbreakers. Absolute heartbreaker. Oh. Didn't get anything else they needed. It was literally the one. Ah. Got 3 triggers off the Itali. Got like 6 total cards and got 1 that mattered. Oh. That's pretty brutal. That hurt. Oh man. Okay. As usual, we're not going to do our best to not let the game 2 loss affect our game 3. Our best, whatever that ends up being, is always, always in flux. His hand's okay. I could have molded for something better, but. Okay, we'll take the Paladin. If opponent attacks in with Soldier into it, do we just not block because we have a Vampire Zero of our own? Oh, I mean, I guess if they just do that first, then it doesn't matter. Baffling end, that Sky Marcher. And we good. Hmm. I think I actually drifted away from the mic. Okay, let's go. Let's go. What do you got, Only? What you got? That's a good card. Attack. Damn. Whew. Ooh, this is not good for us, probably. I expect a big dino here. Eehee. And that is not like, if you recall, in Ixalan, in Amonkhet, there was Cartouche of Strength, which was a May ability when you got the +1/+1 counter out. You know, gives creature +1/+1. Savage Stomp is a must. That's that Ceratops is worrisome. Do I block it if opponent attacks with it? Probably not, right? Opponent is green-white, so they don't really have... And they've already used the fight card, so they're probably not rolling in ways to trigger it. You're gonna send before combat, so if opponent blocks, we get the +1/+1 counter. If opponent had a pump spell, they would have attacked with Ceratops last turn, 100%. Or they should have. Not they would have, but they should have. And I'm happy much happier going out assuming my opponents are good than assuming they're bad. That's fine. Okay. Oof. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. I mean, if we attack with Vona, we could trade her and our whole board for and 7 life, or her and 7 life for opponent's whole board, but that doesn't seem great. We've got to attack with Paladin and play an Aegisaur. Opponent's tapped out, so they can't get the Ceratops larger. I guess it becomes a flyer. Opponent can't attack with it, though. Oh. Well, then. I mean, that's cool with us. Opponent has to go for the double block. If they're going to block it at all. And let's go. Bring in the clowns. Actually, do we just single clown? I think we just single clown. It is slightly more resilient to opponent having like each player only keeps X creatures with power 4 or less. You know, total. You know the spell I'm talking about. I can't think of the name of it, but or even bonus hunger because it just dies to bonus hunger. Just both any mass removal spell. Though I guess they weren't black; they were green, so bonus hunger isn't really an option. Long story short, I did not need the extra sentry at that very moment. Let's see. I think we're good. Yeah, I kind of like where we're at. We'll keep this. If the 1-drop got the 3-drop and you have the Vampire Zeal to actually make the 1-drop a threat. If it comes down to it. I just remember that I had that opponent. I could have made that opponent spend some more time in game 2, which might have affected their decision making and their time limit in game 3. Might have been able to pull that one out. That's why you always take them out. Obviously, in paper magic, never do anything garbage like that. It's wholly disgusting in paper magic to milk the clock because you're just being an asshole. Here we have the chess clock. Like, it is what it is. Fun attacks. I'm going to Vamp Seal. Just to get it out of the way now. Opponent stuck on one color so far is, a good omen for us early. I could play that before combat, but it doesn't turn on Ascend yet. It would next turn, right? Oh, well, I mean, if I had another creature. No, it still wouldn't. Doing bad math. With Durf. Hey, Calder, welcome back to Doing Bad Math with Durf. Today we're going to count to 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done! Well, it looks like this is going to be a fairly non-interactive game. I mean, it's unfortunate, but, I'm not going to argue with it. I don't look a gift game in the mouth around here. We're happy to take any game we can get. I prefer to play real Magic versus my opponents, as I've said in the past. Like I said, like I was saying about Vintage Cube in a previous video. When you can do broken things and not allow your opponent to play Magic, and that's not fun, because I'd rather play Magic. I'd rather interact, rather not just play solo. Not here to play solitaire. So, but at the same time, I don't want to play a format that's going to not let my opponent interact in general. But getting a game where my opponent doesn't interact and I get a free game, I'm not going to, cry about. It's, it's not ideal, but, hey. Any creature would have ascended there. That would have been very good, but we only have the Vampire Seal in hand. If opponent double blocks, we're going to crack that off. Opponent doesn't double block, we're in a good position anyway. Because we can crack it off on the Revenant next turn. If opponent doesn't find a flyer. We know opponent likely has white spells to play. But with only one white, I can't, there's not too many flyers. I mean, I guess at 5, now that he's at 5, the opponent's at 5, there's a couple more. If opponent attacks, do I go for the Vampire Zeal to kill it? Or do I just save it for offense? I just save it for offense. I'm going to ascend when I play my land. Barring a pounce. So, no, even a pounce, I can, well, I guess not a pounce on the Revenant. Whew. That is such a redonkulous card. If opponent chooses one of the, well, I guess if opponent blocks the vampire token, that doesn't happen, but if opponent doesn't block with the vampire token and the creatures both get through, or one of the creatures gets through with the flyer, we're going to win with the Vampire Zeal. If opponent does go for some sort of double block, we would probably keep our creature alive with Vampire Zeal. Yeah, okay. And bring in the Butcher. I don't know if opponent can attack with emissary. I mean, I guess it depends on what they have in hand. But, on the surface, an attack with emissary doesn't seem wise. Hunt the week? We're okay with that. Yep, that, okay. Yeah, this should work. We make sure we trade for the Bishop Soldier when opponent doubles, so they cannot gain life again next turn. And Bellow. There we go. I'm like, opponent's getting a lot of nowhere here. But they had to ascend. So, yeah, okay. Makes sense. That's fine. I guess I should have played the Tomb Armor before combat for the +1/+1 counter. That's true. That's true. opponent definitely shouldn't have played that card. Because with 2 Mob on the board, I just win. I've got enough land to make sure I can, yeah, trigger twice. I guess we put it on top. We could have put it on top and then milled it during our upkeep. Cool. So yeah, we got another 2-1 where we took a pretty brutal loss in match 2, game 3. We know now that seems to be our current kryptonite. I know, small sample size, it doesn't really mean anything, but I'm being entertaining, guys, come on. We know that that's currently our kryptonite, so we'll keep an eye on that next draft phase. But yeah, I mean, another really good deck, I think. Yes, starting with a profit is very strong, but I think overall it was also just a pretty strong deck. Yes, the Mythic Rares do boost it a little, but if we hadn't had the Mythic Rares, we would have gone different ways. Not only did we open another Mythic, but we got past some good rare cards. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, but yeah, opponent just had just what they needed to go with that Atali. They got to just stop us from winning. But yeah, we should have ticked him out always. So yeah. So for the day, remember, always tick your opponent out. Opening Mythic Rares remain strong. And, as always, have a great life, folks. Peace.